In this video, we are going to look at how image sensors, camera sensors work as fast as possible. In digital photography have become a standard modern way of our life. Have you ever thought what make all this possible? The answer is image sensor. They artificially mimic transduction process of human eye. Transduction simply means the action of conversion one form of energy into another form. In human eye, rod and cone receptors work together with the ganglion cells to convert photon into electrochemical signals, which then will be processed by your occipital lobe. In image sensor, photons are captured as charged electrons in silicon and are converted to a voltage value through the use of capacitors and amplifiers, and then into a digital code, which then will be processed by your computer. And in this huge market of camera sensors, there are multiple type of camera sensors you will find for a specific task, but the two most common which have evolved to CMOS and CCD. These sensors are commonly available in our market. The phone which you use is actually CMOS sensor. Before talking about CMOS sensor, let's talk about CCD sensors. See, in CCD sensors, data is captured as shown in this diagram. The circles are data and the blocks and every square is representing a pixel. So there are rows and there are columns. If you take the data from the bottommost row is going to be taken first and from left to right. When the bottommost rows, all data has been transferred through electron to voltage conversion, and then it is transferred to analog to digital conversion. Then the last second row is taken. Same process is done with that too. Likewise, you can see the arrows. It represent how data is going to move. You can see the topmost arrow is showing that the uppermost rows data has been transferred to the second row. Similarly, the second row's data is transferred into the third row, and the third row's data is transferred into the fourth row, and the fourth row's data has been transferred to the fifth row. These were rows. When data is being taken out from your sensor, it goes like this. The fifth column data is being transferred to fourth column. The fourth column data is transferred to the third column. The third column's data is transferred to the second column. The second column's data is transferred to the first column. In this way, CCD sensors takes all of the data it has captured at a particular time frame. That's why they are slow, but because the voltage fluctuation is not too much, there is very less noise in the image. As a result, it uses higher power to function, and the benefit of these types of sensor is extremely low noise. These sensors are best fit for aerial photography and space. The sensors which you see in your satellites are actually CCD sensors. Rubin is the space observatory which will be completed in 2021 around. I hope it will see its first light then, and it is using the world's largest CCD sensor just to capture space. It will be looking in space every 3 days for whole night. It is going to do that continuously for 10 years. In a single light, the amount of data it can collect is more than the whole of humanity have ever collected till now. Photo sensors on which this data is being put is actually made of pixels, and they are divided like green, red, blue, green. 25% are allocated to blue and red sensors, and 50% is allocated to green sensor. Now talking about CMOS sensors. CMOS, instead of shuffling charge in a ray and then modifying it, it actually include extra circuitry added to each individual pixels to allow it to do more processing individually and signal processing, then send directly to CPU. Power use is less and you got increased speed in processing image, but the noise you get in image is extremely high than compared to CCD sensors. So while we are talking about sensors, let's talk about mobile sensors in little bit deeper. There is a trick engineer use in your mobile sensors which you don't know, and even mobiles are getting so much expensive, they are not improving in this area, and they are telling you that they have put 108 megapixel sensors, and these sensors are capable of 8K shooting and 970 frames, or extra super slow motion night shot is actually based on aperture, sorry for that, but you get 4K, you get 8K, you get 108 megapixel, you get 64 megapixel. They are actually cheating with you. Let me explain why. You see in this diagram, I have showed you that I have made a square. Every block represent a pixel. Okay, so when you record a video in 1080p, what needs to happen is every individual pixel record its own data from light which falls on it. But no, to save space on your memory, to make your file less bulkier, engineers have done, they share one pixel's value to consecutive 3 pixels. So instead of getting 4 individual data, your sensors are taking one value and sharing it with other three. In this way, they are reducing your file size by thrice, and this also goes for the image quality. When you are shooting in 1080p, you literally are not shooting in 1080p. You are shooting in quarter of that resolution. This is for 1080p. And now let me explain to you what they do in 4K. What they do is they actually divide your individual pixels into 4 subpixels, and then when you start recording in 4K, actually every subpixel is getting a value, and that value is being shared on the consecutive 3 subpixels, which, remember, these 4 subpixels make a pixel. Same goes for all of the pixels. So in this case, when you are shooting at 4K, you are actually giving your sensors, every individual pixel, an individual value for recording the data. In this case too, you are not actually shooting at 4K, but instead you are getting 4 times better video or image quality than when you are shooting at 1080p. This needs to be changed. Next time, before you go buy any new phone just because of its better camera, don't do that. First, even Apple is doing this. Every individual company is doing this. Apple, Google, Samsung, Huawei, Nokia, you name it, they are doing it. So if you want real improvement in your camera, don't go for 108 megapixel or 200 megapixel camera. Just ask your manufacturer and their engineers to improve their coding, that how their sensors collect data. Even a 12 megapixel sensor can perform 4 times better if their codings are changed theoretically. So I hope I don't need to tell you how much efficient these sensors have become over time. You can see it by yourself, because somehow or another you are using these sensors. So it does not mean that there is no field of improvement in these sensors. Well, actually, the limiting factor for the image quality you get from these sensors is actually the processors, how they process your image. If compared to human eye only focus 2% of its field of vision, which means the brain has to do most and all of the work. Thumbs if you like it, subs if you love it. This is Shad Explains.